Howdy, folks. This is Teddy, aka James Kizow on MTGO, here for the inaugural league on this channel playing Grixis Control. Thank you for joining me. This is a deck that was very popular after Deathrite Shaman got banned a while ago. I think we all remember Reed Duke's run at GP Richmond. That series was what inspired me to dedicate a lot of time to this archetype and get experience with it. And after the printing of Uro, and even before that, Oko, Bant became a much more dominant control faction in Legacy. Not to mention White has always had a versatile removal suite. However, all its removal, it just always trades 1-for-1, so if you want to trade some blanket coverage for opportunism, consider playing a deck like this one. Grixis is pretty fringe these days, but you can definitely get good results with careful play. While most black decks in Legacy are on the unfair side of things, there are definite advantages to playing a fair black deck. One of my favorite options is Cling to Dust. I run 2 in the main here. Unless you're up against a Helm combo deck that's mainboarding Leylines or Rest in Peace, Cling to Dust can really get grinding. For super long matches, I've gotten 4 or even 5 cards out of a Cling before, and at its floor, it's 1 black for a cantrip, or gain 3 life. That's usually not as relevant, but it can be. And at its ceiling, it can be a life or death card. Hitting Dread Return against Oops all spells or Breakfast always feels good. And nearly all Legacy decks are using their graveyard in some capacity, so having Grave Hate that is main deckable it's a beautiful thing. What else? Not too much out of the ordinary here. I've been testing Nimble Obstructionist, and I've been enjoying it a ton. It's a fun card. Maybe not Legacy power level, but it's no secret Grixis has trouble clocking and actually ending the game. Some people will use Fury. Chaos Defiler is also an option I've heard about. That has not hit MTGO just yet. But yeah, to that end, any flash 3-power beater is welcome. It's also nice having access to a Stifle effect, since Stifle itself is nowhere near value positive enough. And Nimble Obstructionist will even draw a card on the way through. Can set up a nice 2-for-1. It can lead to some wild blowouts, or similar to Cling to Dust, it can be a life or death card if you're countering a Thassa's Oracle trigger or something like that. This kind of effect is also virtually uncounterable in the Legacy metagame, similar to the Neo Kamigawa channel lands, unless they stifle you back. And the cycling is a separate trigger, so that's cool. Even if they do stifle your stifle, you'll still draw a card. Kolaghan's Command. Just about entirely absent from the Legacy metagame these days, but the 2-for-1s it enables should never really go out of style. It's great with any creature we're running, even the ones without an ETB, like Opposition Agent, have Flash, so some nice synergy there if you happen to have enough mana. We lack Prismatic Ending, and having this out to Chalice in Game 1 is really nice. Other big money artifacts like Mystic Forge or Karn Wishboard targets are always near the meta, so I always expect to have a lot of options with Kolaghan's Command. Jace the Mind Sculptor. If you want, you could be playing a different bomb here. Like Sorin, you could play Sorin instead, since dodging Red Blasts is always a concern. And Jace has kind of low loyalty for a 4-drop, but I just love this card. It has so many modes on it. There's just no true substitute for it in Grixis Control. I'm sure if I was really, really trying to grind it out, maybe I'd be running something other than Jace, but I enjoy playing with this card, and I consider it still pretty powerful. Let's see. Rounding out the core is the dreaded 2 mana 1-for-1 removal that hits a wider array of targets, and for that I'm choosing Shieldred's Edict. It's a newer card that doesn't target a player, and also has specific enough modes, and 3 of them, that it can feel like targeted removal more often than not, especially on that Planeswalker mode. Other options I've explored are Anoint with Affliction for the Exile clause, very powerful. Eliminate if you're worried about those 3 mana walkers like Teferi or Narset. But Eliminate is starting to feel a little underpowered for Legacy. And then I think this card's predecessor, Angress Rampage, which can target can also have them target an artifact, I think is just entirely power crept out. It has a really awkward mana cost at red-black, and also is sorcery speed. Let's see. Sideboard's pretty standard. Red and blue blasts, more permission for decks not playing to the board. Meltdown became the artifact hate of choice after the arrival of Urza's Saga. And Surgical for decks named after cards, and sometimes Uro. Opposition Agent shores up some tough matchups like lands. Lands, their strategies usually have value engines that operate pretty far outside of what our interaction is prepared for, but cutting off their ability to search really hurts their consistency. I wouldn't bring it in against fair decks, though, hoping to cheese or anything like that. You don't want it to get hit with a Swords to Plowshares or anything. And then from the Catacombs, something I've been trying out to decent success. 5 drops, there's kind of a stigma against them in Legacy, but having some way to take the initiative in 2023 is an important feature for most fair Legacy decks. A lot of the Bant shells are trying Seasoned Dungeoneer or Undermountain Adventurer. Other Grixis decks have tried Caves of Chaos Adventurer. But the combination of it not being easily removed by Lightning Bolt and stuff, or like exceedingly mediocre like the other black and blue creature options, Passageway Seer and the like, and also it has Escape. I think that is the biggest selling point to me, unless you're facing down like Force of Negation or other types of graveyard hate. They'll just have a really hard time having to deal with this for the rest of the game, essentially. The huge drawback is if there's no creature to target, you just can't put it on the stack, but you know, we're made to put stuff in the graveyard. So yeah, that's the list. Gonna run it through a 5-match league and see how we go. Right, here we are on the draw. Not always where you want to be, but if we're getting something super fast, we do have Force of Will. And if we're not, we've got Hymn to Turok. Kolaghan's Command. Oh. Looks a little bit like 8 cast to me. Definitely 8 cast. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna let this one resolve. I could top deck Lightning Bolt or something. And besides, you want to save this Force of Will for like Echo of Aeons, something really scary. Containment Construct even, I'd say. This Hymn's looking pretty bad though. They like to dump their whole hand really quick. Gamble. That's a weird one to pitch. Maybe they're already rolled up for something. And hopefully they just saw Lightning Bolt. Let's see what happens. Kolaghan's Command is pretty nice in this matchup, even though a lot of their artifacts are not very valuable. Okay, Baleful Strix. I don't hate it. I think I'd rather pitch that than Snapcaster Mage. Well, depending on how long the match is going. We'll see what happens. If I have to force this cycle, though, I think I will pitch Baleful Strix. Lotus Petal. That's a lot of mana. They got 6 online. So if they also have LED and echo, they can echo through a force of will. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Maybe making some calculations here. Is that what's happening? Sure seems like it. Breakthrough. Oh, we can't let that happen. This is a lot scarier when there's a containment construct also, but I'd prefer them to not draw 4 cards. That's really all they need to get going. Looks like we've weathered the storm here. Alright, wouldn't mind drawing another force. Edict. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to him their only card. It's not really what you're looking for with him to Turok, so I'll go ahead and just get the Riddlesmith out of here, and then they're kind of building from nothing. Round out our colors. Mode number 1. And there we go. Not such a bad draw. I'm kind of wishing that I had Baleful Strix at this point. Oh, Urza's Saga. We can fight through that with Kolgon's Command and Snapcaster Mage, but it's still always a scary card to see. That means they can get an LED online uncounterably. I don't want to do nothing. This sim's probably not ever getting better. Hit that last card. Grape Shot. Spooky. They always seem to come in pairs. Or triplets. Ponder. It's a little scary if I don't hit a land off this Ponder. But we gotta move forward. We're going nowhere right now. Okay, cool. I would have preferred to see 2 lands off this, because then Snap K Command could ostensibly bring us to the mid-game. But Brainstorm is pretty cool. Fable might be hard to justify on this board that's about to be full of constructs. I like to go like this. And we'll see what happens. Unsurprisingly. Construct number 1. Yeah, I should make them discard. None of the other modes are relevant. Raven's Crime, Shatter. Did we get a good one? Sure. Stave off that echo. Big construct. That's 1 down, 3 to go. They get a bobble. Looks like they're just trying to build up some resources in hand. Brainstorm. We knew about that. Alright, show me some Strix. Show me something. Oh, cool. Strix. That's what I wanted. Land would have been even better, but yeah, we're fighting through this saga. A riskier play could have been to, well, I don't know if that's actually tenable. I think I would have just died if I had invested in the future with Fable the Mirror Breaker. I think I would have, yeah, Just probably taking lethal damage. I'm still taking a huge hit here. Certainly a lot of value to fight through. That I had a meltdown in my main board. Someone would call a judge. Alright, too bad I have to force this incoming echo. I mean, I don't have to, but... Oh, it's Oxyvagonus. Interesting. In that case, I don't know if I can afford to. I edict one, and then I think I just need to chump another one for a turn. Although this adds another creature to the board as well. Yeah, we might be out of luck. Knowing that we're drawing something that's not going to help. They're 6/6s. All right. Good luck to us. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're getting completely overrun here by these constructs. Containment and otherwise. We can't survive. I don't know why I'm still playing. Why not, huh? If we had one more land, I guess we could have K-commanded and Shatter Shock and then Chump Block, and but, you know, that's okay. This gets a lot better after sideboarding. Meltdown's great. Red Blast is cool. Plague Engineer does hit both of their combo creatures. They're both X1s, but it's a little slow, especially when I'm packing things like Bolt, and also K-Command answers them a lot more profitably. I think. Well, depends on how much damage you get across. Opposition Agent does stuff Gamble. I guess if you get into a scrappy late game, it's nice to have also flash 3-power beaters. Thoughtseize, Surgical Extraction, Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce, Hydroblast, pretty much everything, huh? These edicts are a little anemic. Hymn to Turok might put something in the yard you don't want to. Let's cut some of the bigger stuff. Narset's awesome, but I think 2 is enough. I'll cut Spell Pierce because I don't want to just lose to the Saga plan. Trim 1 Thoughtseize, and I'll trim a Cling to Dust too. And we'll give this a shot. I don't love it, but there's a lot of relevant cards in this hand for the matchup. They are mulliganing down to 5. They might be looking for something very specific. If they go for a force check hand, you checked me. But as they saw, like, their mid-range plan is more than serviceable against me. Okay. Riddler. Oh, I don't have a force. What am I doing? Bobble? Sure would be nice to find a lightning bolt. Do they have the echo? They sure do. Holy cow, what a hand. I'm gonna brainstorm. See if I hit a force. We don't hit. We hit Pyroblast, but that doesn't matter. Looks like we're taking a spin, folks. Find me something good. Okay. They gave us some relevant cards and a free spell and surgical, but also no red mana. Also unclear if this surgical is even going to get the job done. Well, they're passing. They didn't really seem to find what they needed. Alright, let's look for some red mana off this ponder. They know about surgical. And they know about whatever this is. Not red mana. Cool. Okay. This is some wild stuff, folks. You could say I'm pretty scared. Nine cards in hand. That's more than I've ever had. Defense grid. Oh, Lord. Well. Bolt you. Let's see what they discard. They're not going to discard anything good. They know about surgical. Do I just extract the Riddlers? Or am I really overreacting to this? The baubles are also pretty integral to the plan, I believe. Nah, what the hell. We're going to take a swing. Ooh, they had one in hand. We're also going to get spun super hard. They have an LED and 2 echoes. And they have defense grid. But at least they won't have riddlesmiths. Alright. I pressed the 6 key. Dump out some artifacts. At least they don't get the Riddler value. One red, one blue. Here we go. Well, we keep getting Meltdown. That's pretty cool. What's in exile? 2 echoes? Oh god. This one. Hopefully they just pass. They usually do bobble stuff. Okay, cool. And we know this Meltdown's going to resolve because of their own defense grid. It's not so bad. I think that's way more valuable than... I think Meltdown for 2 is far more valuable than holding up an agent. And then I'll get to hold up Force of Will as well. See, I don't see any other line. This takes out Lotus Petal too. If I get spun again, I'm gonna want double blue. Will I want double red or double black? Probably double red. Melt it down. There we go. Melt it all down. Dramatic pause. Alright, Force of Will. Please hold it down. Another tomb. That's a lot of mana. Oh boy. I'm gonna force this just to like make them think twice about doing anything crazy. But they totally have free reign now. Uh-oh. Ooh, just a pass? Okay. That could have been a lot worse. And we are yet living. Red Blast. If this was Bolt, well, you know. No love there. I guess I'll go like this. And hold up. 4 rather powerful effects. Well, Brainstorm's not great right now. We know 2 of those cards. And they're not good. Jardin. Crocs. Let's see if there's an imprint. No. Looks like some dumping going on. Maybe they're gearing up for an echo. If they defense grid, that's bad. If they don't, we'll beat it. Red Blast that. Oh shoot, I probably should have Flusterstormed it, right? Next turn they can probably just pay for the Fluster. Looks like I'll have to build my own Storm. Or Brainstorm into something good, question mark? Like Force of Will. Haha. Does that mean I can't afford to make a land drop? Probably. Yeah. And I guess I would rather start with Ponder next turn. I'll pitch Brainstorm. My real hope is that they just don't do a darn thing, and then I can flash in my opposition agent. But we all know that's pretty unlikely. They'll go to 6. That's pretty crazy. Silence? Oh, hell no. Yeah. Okay, now they can't pay for Flusterstorm. Breakthrough. That can't happen either. Well, looks like they're going to wheel after all, unless that Ponder delivers. Next turn, next turn that is. And I couldn't trick them into any kind of, well, they tapped their tomb once. They're down to 6. No ambush for this construct. Not yet. Alright, baby, don't let me down. Lightning Bolt. Is that good enough? Maybe I just bolt the construct and then that takes them off Metalcraft until they activate the garden. And then they have to copy their Chrome Mox. That's pretty bad. Sure. It's not great, but it's what we got. It's better than taking a blind draw. Smote. Boy, I wish I cast this agent turns ago. I don't think I was able to, but yeah, I wouldn't have missed that. Alright, let's take a spin. Oh man. Now they don't have to tap the tomb. Or I guess they do. Give me something good. I was really hoping for Force of Will, but Brainstorm might come up with one. They've got 7 cards, but they're at 4 life. There's a Saga. Man, these things just keep popping up. Boo. Well, I hope we survive. Oh, cool. Look at that. Yeah, I think a big meltdown is all but required here. Meltdown for 2. And then Thoughtseize. Let's Thoughtseize first. Okay. So they won't... Between Entomb and Gamble, they could probably wheel and break through. They won't have blue mana very easily if I melt down. Do I need to melt down for 2? Can I just melt down for 1? Maybe I should have pondered first to see if I found interaction. It's hard to know the perfect order for all this stuff. Nimble Obstructionist gets around Defense Grid, but I don't really know if it'll be relevant. I could stymie the Saga trigger, but that's not for a few turns. I think I'm going to take Gamble. And then Ponder. K-Command is cool. Is that better? Yeah, let's just blow up Defense Grid and deal 2 to them so then they can't use Ancient Tomb. Actually, let's melt down, and then if they use Ancient Tomb, they better be winning next turn. One, or X is 2. There we go. That'll Entomb in response. No, they can't. That's right. Or, I guess they could. They will now. What's the get? Ox. Okay. They seem a little light up on mana to me, but we'll see what happens. Okay, they're just passing. It'd be a nice time to find Lightning Bolt on the top. Cool. This should be pretty straightforward. We know their hand. Taking it to game 3. I don't think anything needs to change here. Although, Spell Pierce could be pretty nice. This person thought it was game 3. Yeah, it's been a grind. I think this hand's good if we survive turn 1. And they say, you gotta stop casting Meltdown. I think you already have K Command. I don't think you need both. Oh, I need more. My favorite card. Alright, let's see what happens. Turn 1 Saga. Bobble. And a pass. More lightning bolts. Let's get Underground Sea and see what's going on in their hand. Okay. I think Defense Grid is the clear take here. They don't have blue mana yet. They will off the Saga eventually, but Silence you can hit with Flusterstorm. I think Defense Grid is just more impactful in the long run. Although if they cast that, they're not making a construct. And I could Meltdown. I don't know. I think this Flusterstorm is going to be a big deal. I'm going to take Defense Grid. It's also not guaranteed that I find more lands. I've had Brainstorms miss before. And this puts a Force of Will in their mind too. Even though I don't have it. Alright, something good, please. Please hold. Force of Will, okay. I spoke it into existence. And thank Lord we hit that. Even though I have Meltdown, I probably want to bolt the first construct so I don't just die. Or, nah, I probably need to hold up. Flusterstorm and just hope that I don't, yeah. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to think a little bit. Okay. Here we go. Cool thing about Cling to Dust in this matchup is that if they discard Echo of Aeons, and they have a containment construct out, there is a window for you to hit it with Cling to Dust with the containment construct trigger on the stack. Okay, they saw Lightning Bolt. And they see Cling to Dust. That's going to get shuffled away. Construct. You know, these fellows might not be so big. We could be okay. They are drawing up to 6 cards, which is scary. I really don't think they're going to do the Pithing Needle thing, but I'm going to fetch just in case. Oh, by a Pithing Needle thing, I mean sometimes Saga can get a Pithing Needle and turn off your fetch land before you have a chance to utilize it. I mean, if they don't do anything, I can still Flusterstorm. I can still Lightning Bolt a construct. Okay, they did get LED. This is smart to attack first. I'm not going to put the shields down just yet, but if they don't do anything like this, yeah, then they got me. I could do the dreaded and to turn Brainstorm and just do my best to guarantee a land drop, and I think that's worth doing. Woof. That's really too bad. Next time for sure, huh? Alright, let's set them up the bomb. It probably is worth actually pondering looking for a land drop. I really need to pull ahead here. Opponent didn't like that. It probably feels like more than 2 because, oh no. Well, it probably feels like more because of all the wheeling. Alright, that's all you're getting out of me, opponent. I need to start thinking about the clock. Remove some of these stops. Natty top 15. Yeah, well, I guess you put them in your deck to draw them. Ah, look who it is. I'm going to let that resolve with all these lightning bolts in hand. Okay, they're just passing. I probably should have clinged to dust there, but like I said, I think it will have more relevant targets later. Ooh, I'm scared of timing out. Luckily, these ancient tombs will do some clocking for us. Sure. Speaking of which, ooh, that's even better. Pass, pass, pass. Seven cards in hand. What on earth? Alright. You know, maybe the clock isn't that scary. Ooh, another 3-power beater. With flash, no less. I'm feeling pretty good now. Saga. Now, do I just flash this in? I think so. We're winning this race handily. Especially with their Ancient Tomb mana base. Narset's good. The Obstructionist always elicits a reaction from opponents. It's been alright. Feeling pretty good with this Force of Will and Flusterstorm. Getting the GGs. Alright, on to match 2. Okay, here we are. Round 2. This hand is fine. Unless we get turn 1. Might just happen. We'll learn a lot about this matchup by what they take. I'm inclined to think they'll take Ponder just because it's the most malleable of these choices, but if they're not going to win soon and they care about Narset, they'll probably take Narset. They take Strix. Okay. So perhaps this is a fair black deck? Those don't exist. I'm the only one. I have so many lands, I wouldn't mind trading a wasteland for a land here. I would feel better with Force of Will, whatever it is they're up to. I refuse to believe basic Swamp is up to anything righteous. But we'll see. Urborg. Dark Ritual. Karn. See what I mean? Nasty. If they have another one, this edict will do some work. I wonder why they took Strix. That's very strange to me. I could conceal information by not playing this second Tarn. And there is a Force of Will on top of my deck. Against a Dark Ritual strategy, I think I would not mind having another Force of Will. Let's see what happens. That's too bad. They did not get Narset. They missed our value engine. They also missed a land drop. I'm going to get my colors online before they can opposition agent me. But the thing I don't particularly like about these decks is the anti-synergy between Urborg and opposition agent. Unless you have like literally no use for black mana, then it's still pretty good. I'll take the Narset. Even though I was just talking about opposition agent. I'm not too worried about needing to lightning bolt one. This is a real relief. They're just passing the turn. That could mean they have a bunch of scary stuff in hand, though. This rarely happens. But it does happen. Play another Narset. Just try and get as many cards as I can. That's tough, but I think I'm going to take Brainstorm. Always sad to send Fable to the bottom, but I don't want to be cold to something completely nuts, like Ritual, Douthie Voidwalker, Helm of Obedience. Crazier things have happened. Liliana of the Veil. Oh, you know, this card is not that scary when we're already playing off the top. In fact, they'll probably end up having to discard more than me. Now I get why they took Baleful Strix. They want to just nickel and dime me down to nothing. I don't really want to force this, but what choice do I really have? I'm sure there will be more scary stuff next turn. Now that their third mana is online. Land. How about Sorin? No. Well, could still be a Sorin. Yeah. Let's get entirely stable here. Now, the unfortunate thing is that they probably don't really care about Narset's passive too much, unless they're running Castle Lochthwain, which I think most of these style decks do. Alright. Hopefully this is enough value to ride off into the sunset. More Lilianas. It's less scary now that I have my feet under me. Smallpox. Also not unexpected. Snapcaster Mage, beautiful. This is the kind of card that drives this deck crazy. Just something that sticks to the board and also gets value. I think it's just a pretty clear Sheedict there, but let's see what Sorin has for me. Lightning bolt? Sure. I will take that. But that doesn't change this line. Liliana is not incredibly effective against me. But it is still something to respect. As a lover of modern Jund, I can't ever bring myself to disrespect Liliana of the Veil. Innocent blood, sure. We're getting close on that Sorin ultimate. Combined with a lightning bolt. Could be the rare before turn 10 win. Doesn't happen very often. Kolaghan's command. Yeah, looking good. Can hide my burn on top and then just fire a big old shot for 13. Currency converter. Good target for Kolaghan's command. It's a scary card. Oh. I'm just going to get this game over with. Actually, I'm not going to worry about currency converter. It gets stuffed a little bit by Narset. I can't think of what will stop this. Elvish Spirit Guide into Veil of Summer? Does that mean I should ponder first? Yeah. You never know. You never know. How about 2 bolts? No, that's not great. Shuffle. You only live once. Unless you're Sorin. Alright. Take it to game 2. Unfortunate thing about this matchup is that I really don't have anything to side in. Sometimes there is a Saga deck, so Meltdown's good. Also, I really like From the Catacombs as something, a huge bomb you can just cast from your graveyard. You don't care if it gets discarded. I like Spell Pierce and Flusterstorm against the Smallpox decks. Ooh, my voice. Excuse me. Alright. What else? Well, we can trim Thoughtseize, so we're not just like flinging stuff at each other. You know, with Currency Converter in the mix, I'm betting the Urner's a Saga deck. They might even have something even scarier, a Retrofitter Foundry. So I'll bring both of those. And sometimes they have Chalice of the Void. I know, I saw Dark Ritual, but they like kind of lessen their dependency on Ritual as the game grinds on. And it's really their only way to keep up with some of the lightning fast combo decks of the format. Alright, how about we just trim 1 Cling. Actually, this is one of my best grinding tools once they discard my whole life. So let's go like that. And also, I do need to respect Douthie Helm a little bit. That's usually a way these mono black decks can leverage. I'll cut a Narset. Like I said, they don't really care about the passive. I'll cut this 3-drop, I guess. And I'll cut this 4-drop. Okay. See what happens. Sure. Stable mana. I can ignore Smallpox pretty handily. Kolaghan's Command for the scary artifact stuff. They might be digging for a leyline right now, in which case Cling to Dust's floor. Okay, there's no leyline. But should that happen, Cling to Dust does just become one black cycle, if there's anything in their yard. This looks like Opposition Agent to me, so unfortunately I have no natural red mana. I do have to search my library for that. Let's just hang out and see what happens. No movement. They also mulligan to 5, so maybe they just don't have it. Him. Let's brainstorm. Try and mitigate the damage. I could Force of Will, but I'm so up on resources. I think I'm willing to take this gamble. I just don't want them to discard all my lands. Brazen Borrower is going to be pretty cool. If they really fail to get up and running, I can just steadily clock them. So I guess I'll put back Borrower. I'll put back land. Yeah. I don't want to get cheese out of this game. That would be horribly embarrassing. Nice. That went about as well as expected. Both of the Cling to Dusts would have been the absolute best outcome, but I won't complain about this. Okay. Let's see what's next. Hopefully I don't have to force. I'd love to deploy this Borrower. Triple black. Let's go ahead and cycle this so we look at a fresh card. Drawn Wild. Maybe it'll be blue. It sure is. Let's hold up Force. I really would like to get this clock down. And then hold up Kolaghan's Command as well. Okay, well, they have 4 spells in hand. That's kind of crazy. It must be like, okay, never mind. Could be like Sudden Edict. I definitely sense Dark Ritual Opposition Agent turn 1. If that happens, I'm going to want to have both of my fetch lands available so I can actually remove the darn thing. Because I don't want to force it. So let's go to my turn. How right was I? So right. Do I care about Wasteland at this point? At this point, if I'm trading resources via Wasteland, I'm more than happy to do that. I wish this was a more impactful Kolaghan's Command, but they took my bolt. Dark Ritual goes down. My read was correct for what it's worth. I'll get a basic island though. Our color's already looking pretty good. Ponder into a blue card, hopefully. Okay, cool. And then I'll want to brainstorm with these fetch lands around. Still really don't want to pitch this Borrower. Want to hang on to that as long as I can. Or I mean deploy it. You know what I mean. They're down to 1 card. And we have all this Cling to Dust action to look forward to. Thoughtseize. Too bad. But I'm not going to do anything about it. Probably take Brazen Borrower. If they take Force of Will, we have right to be scared. They take Ponder. That's fascinating. Okay, well, we'll do a repeat of last turn, except now we can actually deploy the Borrower. If they Thoughtseize again, I guess I'll Cling to Dust. After shuffling, I don't want the Bloodstained Mire. Either that or they have a removal spell for this, like Innocent Blood or Sudden Edict. That wouldn't surprise me too much. Oops. Sorry, folks. Well, now we're just super set up. Got plenty of land drops, and we're still at parity for cards in hand. Innocent Blood. Yeah, I expected this, but I'm not going to fight over it. I'm in no hurry to get the game over. Let's see. I think I'd force the Opposition Agent. I don't really want to, but I would. Let's keep one fetch land uncracked, keep that around, and it doesn't really matter what I exile, at least I don't think. Could be wrong about that. Let's start the value train. I have another Brainstorm in hand, so that's good to go. More Ponder. More options. More life. Alright. I guess I'm looking for another clock. This Meltdown's not looking great. Kolaghan's Command, though. What could be better? I like to go like this, and then end of turn we'll probably be looking to K-Command. Maybe they'll play a juicy artifact. If not, we can just have them discard. Pithing Needle. It's likely to name a card not in my deck. I bet they'll name Sorin. It did some pretty nice work last game. Or they might name Narset. Let's see. They did name Narset. A wise choice. They deduced it's definitely more likely to still be in my deck post-side than Sorin. I'm not going to shatter it, though. I think I'd rather just get them empty. Oop. Another Urborg. The downfall of legendary lands. They're not hurting for mana or anything, though. Ooh, with this land drop, I can Cling to Dust and play Brazen Borrower. That's pretty good. Unless they decide to wasteland me. I'm not sure what they're waiting for on that. Hymn to Turok. If I force this hard cast, that delays Brazen Borrower's clock by a turn, but it also might just knock Brazen Borrower out of my hand. There's no reason not to do this. I want to retain the advantage I have in hand. The hits keep coming. We'll pass. This takes a turn off the clock. I mean, I'm sure we'll find something more relevant to hit. Douthie Voidwalker, the rest. No movement over there. Hopefully they did not find, like, Sudden Edict or something. Now if I Cling to Dust with this as a swamp, they have the opportunity to wasteland my fetch land, but I think that's okay. I'd rather play to the upside of still having a shuffle. I keep both K commands around? Oh yeah, of course. My favorite card. What could this be? Okay. Again, I don't want to fight over this. I'm just going to have to trust my deck that will definitely outplay this one in the long run. Okay, yeah, they did what I was talking about. Denying me a shuffle. That's okay. More Force of Wills, okay. I think we're, if we take this to game 3, then I might trim a Force of Will. I haven't seen any evidence of the Helm combo. Okay, this is a complete nightmare for them. Creatures that are value. Unfortunately, at the end of this chain, there is a land. But we're probably almost done. We've probably fished out almost all the lands in our deck. So we can look forward to drawing some hot fire. Actually, we're probably not even close. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, there's still 8 lands. Quite a bit. Oh, hell no. I can't let this stand. Or can I? Sorry, folks. You're probably screaming, wanting this game to be over, but it's just not the right play to force pitch force. It's just not with this bolt in hand. You must be patient if you play Grixis control. And not clock out. I realize I'm like 7 minutes behind. Boop. What if I draw Jace? Did I cut Jace? Narset. Doesn't do anything, but they won't be drawing more cards, that's for sure. Okay, now my lead has become a little tenuous, and maybe I should have fought to protect those Strixes. Time will tell. It's all a learning experience. Wasteland, sure. They can't be happy about that draw. I'm not happy about that draw. But I'll play it out. I think I'm just about out of brainstorms, right? Oh, no, I still got 2. I'll hold this Badlands. Yep. Gaze upon my hand and take a Force of Will. It's really tempting to fire Cling to Dust here, but I just can't. It's too much good stuff in the yard. What if I draw Snap? Ooh, nice. My good friend, the Stifly Bird. Now this is my ride or die. I will protect this one with Force of Will. Especially if they're just going to draw a land there. Alright, here he comes. Caca. Oh, so glad I didn't get impatient with that Cling to Dust. I want all the mana I can get now. This is all my mana. This is every land that produces mana in the deck. This is gonna get a little wild. Kolaghan's Command. Get that back. Destroy an artifact. I would like Baleful Strix. I think it's the right choice. Okay. Got the GGs. On to match 3. Alright. Back for round 3. Winning the die roll. Love it. Having a one-lander. Don't love it. There is Force of Will. And there's a couple cantrips. I'm feeling lucky. Alright. Let's see what is in store for us. Bloodstained Mire. Yeah, this Cling to Dust might be a little more useful than we thought. So if they unmask, the only way this really goes to hell is if they have another discard spell. Ooh, let's Brainstorm, actually. We're up against Reanimator, by the way. Oh, holy crap. I can't believe I almost did that. Let's not Brainstorm so we can Cling to Dust. And let's engage in this 2 for 2. Pitch old Jace. And we just gave away a lot of info by fetching black. Whoops. That's why they don't pay me the big bucks. Yeah, here we go. Now I will Brainstorm, because the only way this really gets bad is if they have Lotus Petal, and if their last 4 cards are Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, and Tomb Reanimate, or Animate Dead, then yep, you got me. Hide the goods. I imagine they'll take Lightning Bolt. Maybe they want to cast Grief in the future. Alright, we've successfully hidden the goods. It might be a while before we have the luxury to cast Fable of the Mirrorbreaker, though. Okay, this tells me that they're playing Shallow Grave. Aw, shoot. What'd they pitch? Dark Ritual? Well, I guess I just cling the Emissary in response, and we might be facing down a Grief, but it's a hell of a lot better than the alternative. Goodbye, Plague Engineer. Down to 2 cards in hand, so with so few resources we can't expect like a land reanimate or land and tomb reanimate out of nowhere. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's nice being on board. They missed a land drop last turn as well, so okay, they are going to reanimate, and they're targeting Plague Engineer. I guess they're just setting up a wall. They want to be the control deck now. I don't blame them, it's tons of fun. Baleful Strix, cool. No thanks. How about a Bolt? Well, that one's good too. I won't suicide this in just yet, but if I don't find Bloom on a next turn, I totally will. Sitting behind a Narset is just, oh no, that's too bad. Shallow Grave confirmed. I mean, it's a little unfortunate that MTGO gives away important deck stuff like that just by its formatting, but I don't know how else they would do it. Force of Will, okay. Not relevant yet, but maybe if they stop discard spelling me, it will be. I'll be feeling pretty good if I can untap with this reflection of Kiki Jiki. Okay. They're down to 10, but by Lord, they've been able to keep my hand empty. More Strix. Yeah. That's enough for them. Sideboard is nice and stocked for this matchup, just because they're so fast, and it's quite a popular deck. Bring in the Thought Seizes, the Surgical Extractions, Flusterstorm is great, Spell Pierce is great, Hydroblast is tenuous. It hits Faithless Looting, but I tend to like to fight over the reanimation spells and not really the cards that get them into their graveyard. But if I don't have anything else to bring in the old days I used to just cut all the bolts, but now grief beatdowns are a real thing in this matchup. I usually bring in some red blasts once I see that they're on the show and tell juke. That's also very popular right now, but I saw no evidence of that. Opposition Agent can stuff a late game Entomb, and also, I think I said this before, but just having the option to deploy a clock if you don't have to interact is quite nice. From the Catacombs also can get you your own Grizzlebrand, but don't rely on that. Cuts, Hymn to Turok, Kolaghan's Command, Fable the Mirrorbreaker, Plague Engineer, Sorin the Mirthless, 1 Lightning Bolt. Strix is a blue card, but it is not very impactful unless you're trying to protect a Narset. If you're protecting a Narset from a Grizzlebrand with Baleful Strix, you're in a pretty good spot. The Edicts are pretty bad. I mean, we're testing this thing. We gotta play it, right? Come on. I'll cut a Edict from the Catacombs and probably die with it in my hand. Hand looks pretty good if we survive. Thought Seizing them and Force of Will. I look for 2 levels of protection, and they're here. Unfortunately, we're on the draw, but let's give it a shot. Already griefing. Yeah, sure. I don't want to force this. If they already have their combo rolled up, there's no point. They take force, I'm not surprised. Are we going to see a Dark Ritual? Are we going to see the Stone Nuts? No, Faithless Looting. Okay. If they don't have Lotus Petal Reanimate, I'll have a window for a Thought Seize. Okay, they clearly have more reanimation spells. Probably right now. Entomb? What on earth? Grizzlebrand. Okay. Their plan must be to just top deck a reanimation spell, and let me tell you, that works more often than not. But I can't just lose to them having 1 in hand, so I'm gonna Thought Seize and not Ponder. It's more likely for me to, or I think it's less likely to find a Surgical or a Force of Will. Okay, yeah. They did a nice job blanking that. How lucky are you? Not yet, fortunately. Little help. Brainstorm. I love it. Uh-oh, what's this? Okay. I think I can safely put just 2 lands back. I think that's fine. Then let's shuffle and ponder, and hopefully find something a little more relevant. Force of Will, Surgical Extraction are the best hits. That's tough. I'm going to have to fade them another turn. But if I do, this is pretty good. Yeah. Play around some discard spells by putting Narset on top of my library. And the fact that I chose not to ponder should signal to them that it's not safe to just go. Oh, they're going to do it anyways. Or they're going to hardcast Grief. Okay, that's fine. I imagine they'll take Snapcaster Mage. This makes me not want to deploy Narset. They take Brainstorm. It makes me want to Petty Theft their Grief. Doesn't seem like they'll be able to easily recast it. Yeah, it's not great, but maybe I'll find something even better. Like From the Catacombs. What did I tell you, folks? Yeah, that's getting shuffled away. Unless I can somehow make more land drops. Petal? Okay, maybe they can recast it more easily than I realized, but they also could flashback looting this turn, but yeah, I'll let them do that first, because I don't want to give them padding in their hand for them to keep a reanimation spell. Actually, I don't know how they would do that. I probably just took 3 for no reason. Oh well. Luckily, your life total isn't super relevant in this matchup. What if I played Jace? Nah, Narset's safer. I don't want them to just somehow yeet a Grizzlebrand into play and then ruin my life. You know, From the Catacombs is oddly kind of grief resistant. Yeah, you know what? That could be pretty cool. I'm sure I'll get a 5th land at some point. Oh, this turns off Faithless Looting too. Alright, they've had enough. Back for round 4. Winning the die roll feels good. This hand is not really great though. I don't know if this hand is keepable. I've got a Brainstorm to look for more lands and a pretty good spread of interaction. But yeah, I'm just not sure this is keepable. Well, this has no blue mana in it. It does have a Thoughtseize though. Yeah, this is rough. I guess definitely send Jace, and then... Oh, it's a 6-card hand. I thought I was on 5. It's not that bad. Alright, let's see what we're up against here. We'll play around Wasteland to go from the start here. Alright. I would say 8 Ghast, but this Seagate Restoration is a little suspect. This is going to be tough. I do kind of want to take Shadow Spear. If I take Chrome Mox, then... Well, if I take Seagate, they'll have a hard time making blue mana that's stable. They have Lotus Petal. But yeah, none of this is very impactful other than Shadow Spear, I think. Yeah, that's a hard hand to look at with Thoughtseize because you just really want to take Urza's Saga, but you just can't. Starting off with Saga. And also, they have the Ancient Tomb to accelerate it. They don't have to cash in their petals or anything. Chrome Mox. Let's see if this imprints the restoration. It sure does. Okay, one unknown in hand still. Yeah, these constructs are going to be rather large. Ponder. Someday. It's possible I should have gone to 5, but it's really hard to win on 5. Ancient Tomb. Karn the Great Creator. With Shieldred's Edict, I think I need to just stretch my interaction as far as it can possibly go. Although you could have also just forced the Karn and then cast and kept the Edict for a Construct, but now it seems like they're not going to be that large. This is fine. Future Karns are going to be a problem, but let's not think about that right now, I guess. I've got a lot of bad draws. I'm not in a great position. Help! Okay. I guess I'll take your last card. It was another Seagate restoration. We'll die to this one construct pretty quickly if I don't find a way out of this. They're just out of lightning bolt range. It's very possible I should have just cast Force of Will on Karn and then saved Shieldred's Edict for this construct token. We'll see what happens. I'm also not quite sure what they're going to go for here. Lion's Eye Diamond, sure. So they're probably an Echo strategy. Karn Echoes, I believe, is the popular name for the deck. Oh boy. Well, that's going to be really good if we find a blue land. Until then, we can fend them off with a Force of Will. If they make a big swing at an Echo, they might even think we're Rakdos mid-range at this point, honestly, and we're not representing anything really. Little help here. All right. I'm not inclined to play around Wasteland. I think this mana base is already greedy enough. But, you know, if they got it, you got me. It would be nice to not get wasted off 2 colors, though, if it does happen. Now, what could this be? Hull Breacher. Well, that's certainly worth a Force of Will for me. I don't like going shields down, but yeah, we just can't let this happen. Cool. Got a line of defense here with a Baleful Strix. Got another Force if necessary. If not, we could brainstorm next turn. Drawing that polluted delta was truly life or death. Okay, they're coming in. Easiest block of my life. Earlier in the league I said sagas come in pairs. I hope that's not true this time. Doesn't seem like it. Huzzah! I don't want this land. Oh no. Yep, walked right into that one. Well, that's really unfortunate. I'm afraid we'll have to scoop it up. We'll be drawing these cards for the next 2 turns. Dang, sorry y'all. That was a terrible punt. Alright. Red blasts, meltdowns. Sometimes surgical can be nice, since they are playing kind of a combo plan. I can safely part with Plague Engineer though. And then with their hand whipping around so much, I don't know if Hymn to Turok is that relevant. Hull Breacher seems kind of important. I'll keep Lightning Bolt around. Trim some top end. Narset's really good. Tasted their own medicine. I guess I should cut the Stifle Bird too. Sorin doesn't really interact with this deck, despite being an awesome bomb at the top end. I want more permission. And Lightning Bolt's also good at dealing with Karn, so I'll cut one Edict and see how it shakes out. I'm relieved it's not 8 cast, but this deck brings with it its own scary things. And it looks like we're entering game 2 here. Yeah, I can work with this. Definitely not going to get got by Hull Breacher. Pyroblast is cool. I'm a little soft to the Saga side, but if they try to like power out a turn 1 Karn, it should be able to be spell pierced. Setting up some mana. Okay, well, take a look at my hand. You think this can happen? Hopefully they don't have Force of Will. But I think this deck can do a little bit of everything. Wow, okay. Well, now they're down to 2 cards. And I am a meltdown strategy. I'm down to 2 cards and they only have 2 mana in play. Another 1 drop is not what you want to see. Alright, a little help here. Oof. This is rough. Depending on what they follow up with, could be in some trouble. Day's Undoing. I'm okay with that. Wow, it's the same hand. Jeez, all 1-drops? It's like the same hand. Oh, with this one little twist. That's a good one. Right off the top. Well, I should attack first. I really need this meltdown to resolve. If it does, I'm in pretty good shape. Let's see here. All right. Didn't expect that to work. We're back in it, baby. I can probably expect them to drop an Urza's Saga here. Yep. Ledger Shredder. Go for the lightning bolt here. No complaint. In the tank a bit on this discard, on this connive here. Ancient Tomb goes down. Another petal. A Chrome Mox. Yeah, this is going to be one big construct. Aether Spellbomb. Oh no. Okay. I was hoping it wouldn't be another Chalice. More wheel. Ooh, Narset. That's a good one. Force of Will off the top. Flusterstorm. I think that's even better. They'll have to work pretty hard if they don't want this to hit the field. Alright. If they force again, they're fairly low resources. First one down. Narset's in there. That's good news. It's the second time this league. That's too bad. Luckily, that wasn't the part of Narset that's most relevant here. Turning off the wheel is pretty important. And if we untap, we'll be in pretty good shape. Holding up Kolaghan's Command, Lightning Bolt for Hull Breacher. More sagas. That part is a little scary. Not to mention Aether Spellbomb can clear the way for a construct attack. Bit of a pause here. Being a Chalice deck, it won't be running any cantrips, so we can't count on getting any lockout value there, but turning off all their wheels is pretty big game. Something's happening. Maybe. Hull Breacher, sure. Now they'll have to cash in a petal if they want to make a construct. Another Narset. I was kind of hoping to get a land drop. That's a lot of red blasts. We'll be lightning bolting here though. And then I was kind of hoping to find Force of Will off Narset. Do I hold up K command? I think so. If I just K command on the end step, I don't even have to worry about getting hit with well, they could still have Force of Will right now, and I guess I want them to commit the spell bomb before. Let's see what happens. Not to mention getting Baleful Strix back with K command is probably a lot more relevant than a Shock or a Raven's Crime. But I do wonder what they're going to search for. Lion's Eye Diamond is pretty standard in the blind. Mox Opal, okay. Get some mana underneath them. Let's see what happens here. They're attacking me. Do I just take it? Well, I would like to get this thing off the field, actually, and recur my Strix. Wow. So many. I'd like to start pulling ahead, but I haven't really made any land drops or found any land drops. See if they want to fight over this. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'm tapped out of Pyroblast. Alright. Lightning Bolt. Not great. Not yet. More bolts. I'm going to shuffle this. Land drop. Let's go again. Woof. Not coming up with anything good here. Force of Will. This is gnarly. Cycle Cling to Dust. Gotta keep this Narset around if I can. I can double bolt. Yeah, I really hope they cash in that spell bomb. We'll see what happens. Yeah, seemed unlikely. Could really use a meltdown. That's really what I'm looking for now. There's the diamond. They're ignoring Narset. Well, I hope I can punish this. Turns out Force of Will on that Kolaghan's command was quite crucial. Got a land drop. Shocking that one in. Alright. Could really use Meltdown here. Even then, well, then I can probably Lightning Bolt the next construct, but yeah, this is tough. Nope. Little help here. Dig deep. Ponder. Gotta maximize red sources here. Nope. Alright, one last look. Unfortunately, that's the end of our winning streak. We fall to 3-1. Alright, here we are for the final round here. Gonna try and bounce back. Made some misplays against Karn Echoes. This hand seems fine. Basic Island and a Ponder. I'll be making a very, very similar play. Snapcaster Mage is not really something I like seeing in my opening hand, but we'll make do. Ooh, Thoughtseize. Well, I'd rather do that, actually. And we'll play around Wasteland for the time being. Let's have a look. Okay, show and tell. Definitely going to take Ponder. However, they did not shuffle, so I could just be facing a show and tell next turn. Very redundant hand, I'm afraid. That's too bad. Let's see. It could just be some more setup. Doesn't look like it. Oh, it's Vesuvan Drifter. Sweet relief. Kind of. It's still scary. Holy cow, that was lucky. Well, no accounting for that. All of a sudden they have a new hand and are drawing a Grizzlebrand next turn. May or may not be relevant. Emrakul. Okay, they're not drawing Grizzlebrand. Narset. A little late. If this was, if I was on the play. I wonder. It could be worth concealing information here. If I go Tarn, Basic Island, Ponder, maybe they'll think we're just ad nauseum tendrils or something. I have a lot of cards in hand. It's worth at least playing a little more out. But our odds are very slim. Them having just drawn 7. I'm going to shuffle that. Basically just force a will or bust here. Or Thoughtseize also would have been fine. Alright. How bad is it? Starting with a Brainstorm. Which means they'll put Matraxa on top of their deck. Which isn't that great. If they put Emrakul on top of their deck, that's pretty bad. Archon's bad too. I think I'm willing to scoop it up. Got some good tools here, although this matchup's not great. Them being a combo deck that also has an like a counterspell package, but red blasts are nice. Spell Pierce, Hydroblast, Surgical after that first wave, Thoughtseize, Sudden Edict more so than the other one, that's for sure. Got some slow stuff here. Lightning Bolt's pretty bad. Doesn't even take out Vesuvian Drifter. Sometimes they pivot onto Magus of the Moon though, and then it's pretty good. Cling to Dust is not very impactful. Haven't seen much Nimble Obstructionist action this league so far. Hopefully something will come up this match, but I'm not holding my breath. I think that's pretty good. I like having flash beaters like Opposition Agent, but I don't think I want that more than anything else here. Let's give it a shot. We'll take the play. And we open a no-lander. That's unfortunate. Throw it back. This hand's not great, but I mean, am I really supposed to go to 5? I don't think so. If they're on sneak attack, we at least have Hydroblast. Alright. Little help here. Is that just 2 more Ponders? And a land drop. I think it's worth taking a gamble that we're not going to get turn 1'd. It'd be very hard for us to beat that anyways with a Force of Will off the top. They could have Daze, they could have Force of their own. It's just not really the game we should be playing towards. I'm certainly afraid though. Huh. This could mean anything. Let's clear that other Ponder, or let's Brainstorm. Not really the cards I want to see. I already played a land, duh. Take another look. Also not really the spread I want to see. This is a little unfortunate. Okay. See how bad it gets. Looks like they're on a slow start there. Lightning Bolt. The one Lightning Bolt I left in. Not great. Let's Ponder. Shuffle again. Oh, there we go. I got a Reb, I got a Beb. I'm feeling good. There's a lot of things that beat this, but you know what? After all that sculpting and having to mulligan, to be here feels pretty good. Uh-huh. Oh, they're shuffling. Perhaps they're missing something integral as well. Let's see here. Another land. Not wild about that, but I'll play it. Days is not really a concern anymore. They have a lot of lands too. They didn't drop a sneak attack there, so they're either preparing for a big fight or they don't have one. Could get a land out of my deck here. The situation's kind of dire. I have 2 rather irrelevant cards in hand. 3 if you count the land. I guess I want more red mana. Golagon. Not so great. They kind of have a lot of resources, so Shock and Raven's Crime isn't really going to squeeze them. Look at all that mana. Uh-oh. Let's see here. I doubt I'm going to win a counter battle. I really doubt it. I could have them discard a card first, and then Pyroblast. If in the weird world they are like, what the heck, and they ditch like a multiple of a counterspell they have, and I extract it, I could win the counter war. It's all pretty far-fetched. But you know what? What do I have to lose? We're already 3-1. God, this is not great. Well, we're in this together. Humble viewer. No, I'm humble. City of Traders, yeah, not a great target. There's really no point in extracting Ponder either. Here goes nothing. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Well, this is very likely the end of the line. A Flusterstorm that I could have paid for if I didn't cast K-Command. It's important to learn new stuff. What's coming at me? Sneak attack. Yeah. Oh no. Well, let's point a Hydroblast at that. And then hopefully just rebuild from the bottom with very few lands that make mana left in my deck. Interesting to show and tell in a sneak attack rather than just casting it. Alright, we'll go to 2 life. We'll have no lands. And we're going to love it. Alright, this is how we rebuild. Unfortunately, with the Emrakul trigger and being at 2 life, I couldn't snag Show and Tell or Sneak Attack from their graveyard. Rainforest. Oh boy. Spirit Guide. Well, if I don't find a red land, that monkey will be our doom. Yep, that's the end for us. We end with a 3 and 2. Not terrible. The league started really great. I'll see y'all for the next one.